Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm JC, this is JC's Carport, and this is the B&M quick shifter out of the XF Falcon. So yeah, today's going to be installing this into the Fairlane. Yeah, a bit of mucking around to do there. Negotiate around the carpet, get rid of this buddy seat, which I think, looking at it, seems to bolt up from, oh, it's got a screw there. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I'm not sure if it bolts up from underneath or that screw wouldn't be all it's holding it. But anyway, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But yeah, that's the story there. As well as doing that, we'll be disabling this, so I'll just knock the pin out of here and pull this handle out. I'll leave all that on there for now. I've got to try and find a manual or a floor shifter honey pot, they call it, for that, to get rid of that. But just for now, I'll just knock the pin out of that and pull this lever out, put it to the side. Yeah, that's basically the story. All right, we'll rip into it. All right, so got a marker. Sort of made that sort of just the seat where I want to sit. Run through the gears there. Yeah, that seems to work there. So basically what I'll do is just put a mark on the carpet. Alright, cool, got a bit of a mark there, just to from hole to hole almost there. Yeah, I was just going to go through on top of the carpet, but I think I'll actually cut the carpet and then just fold the carpet back over the screws and stuff, or the bolts and stuff will be the go. Get to the middle and get the right shape of so it'll sit square and even. Is the story there. Alright, I'll rip into it. Alright, so I got my holes drilled. It all sort of sits in there with the holes there, the bolts go in, so that's all good. And I've drilled my hole for the cable, so we can get that through. Oh, that'll be on the trans. The trans is still on it. More all the way, so yeah, cool. Alright, well that's a win. I'll just have to get that to sit right. I did have this bit of extra insulation just in the XF just to fill the hole, but might not work on this rig. Well, have a look. Yeah, that'll be right. Alright. I think that bolted up from the other side. Yeah, that might need to be bugger. Probably shouldn't have put that in so quickly. Just trying to elongate the hole a bit without fucking the cable up. Yeah, that might be alright. So goes there. I mean, it goes the other way up, but just for this bit here, yeah, I might have fucked that up, you know. Might have made that hole a bit too close to the a bit too close. Mind you, that's already sitting right. I'll go and have a look underneath and see what the story is. I'll bring this back in directly. Alright, so I got that in. I had to get rid of that there was a rubber sort of bit there. That was my added on extra for the XF, just to seal it up with the hole around there where the cable goes through. Got rid of that. I just sort of bent that hole out a bit. Seems to be all good now. Bolt holes line up, so yeah, I guess I'll get underneath and try and do the old stick them up and hope they stay up while I can get these nuts on. It's only me at the moment, so alright, I'll let you know how I go. Alright, well, it took a lot of mucking around, but trying to be underneath with a pair of vice grips and trying to be on top of these bolts and stuff's a bit painful, but anyway, got there in the end. Oh, that's handy. Oh, I know where that's come from. It's coming out of here. Yeah, in the end she's on. Just get this bowl before it gets lost. Yeah, so that goes there. Whoops. Cool. Hopefully that's all goodly. Yeah, so she's basically in. I've just got to obviously put the bizzo on. Connect up some wiring, and yeah, that'll be that installed. I've also got to put in the ice, the little ECU, so that'll probably go in here somewhere, I'd imagine. Hopefully underneath, I hope underneath this, but yeah, that'll probably do for this afternoon. Beer time, well and truly. So I'll grab a can and chillax, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's the next day, and it's back into this. So remarkably, from feeding the cable in from the inside last night on the tranny tunnel, this is where the cable ended up. Managed to negotiate its way over the transmission, through the extractors, and up into the engine bay. So yeah, so the first job today is to pull that back around. It's got to have a nice sort of bow on it. It then goes back around the back of the transmission and then to the linkage side. It's got to get set at low. Pinto's going to give us a hand, and then we can sort of match up the gates and how it all works. So yeah, I'll get that happening. Probably not much to see with this light. I think the torch is bright too. That'll probably need a charge. Oops. That's going to last all of 5 minutes. Yeah. So I want to try and pull this out without putting a big kink in it. Which is going to be easier said than done. Look at this. Oh, that might be right. Oh, cool. So this should go, linkages are on the other side. So this goes up over here. Up over there. Here, yeah, that's how that goes. Cool. Then we can get that bolted into position in situ. I was going to say, pull that from the other side. All right, I'll go to the other side and we'll get some connections happening. All right, so I got those linkages connected up. I didn't film it because it was very frustrating with this header in the way. I should have taken it off really good anyway. Got there in the end, so I've got that in loose for now. I'm just going to go and check the travel, so I'll go to park now and we'll make sure that's a loose fit in park, and then we'll know we're all sorted. Alright, I'll get it happening. Alright, so that's all in situ. Those rubber boots are on. They were quite hard, but they obviously go hard with age. That's all set up. That's currently in low. That shifter will be up, top will be in low, so we'll just go up there and just run through the gears quickly, and then that'll be that, and I'll be able to start doing other things. Alright, let's have a look here. So first, second, drive, lift up, neutral, reverse, and then park. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Park. Alright, reverse, neutral, drive, second, first. Alright, cool. No worries. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now it's time to move on to the wiring nightmare, which will be the safety neutral switch lockout. So it starts in park and neutral, and then it'll be the reverse lights. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I'll have to find out how I go with that. Probably just pull the wiring off the original turnout there, trim that, and sort of feed it back through, I suppose. Alright, cool, we'll get into that. Alright, so I'm having some fun here. So I've worked out these are the wires for the neutral safety switch for the transmission that plugs into that wire over there. It's probably hard to see from here. Then runs down the side of the transmission there. So when you disconnect that, you get back to this, go to the firewall. So the plan is to uncover these wires, pull them back through the firewall, then run them down to the shifter. Yeah, that wasn't until I started pulling this sort of felty stuff here off of it. I've been seeing it for like an hour and a half. This is how far I've got. So yeah, I'll just spend the next 7 days of my life pulling all that apart, and eventually get these wires through the firewall, and we'll get to doing a bit of wiring on the switches on the B&M. Alright, so after a lot of head scratching and crawling around under the dash, I come up with a solution. So the story is that there is plate, which would have been a clutch, I should imagine, but obviously this is an auto, and will remain so. There's a plate that blocks that hole off in there, so I'm going to use that with a couple of bungs, namely over here, which I just picked up from the local hardware shop. May have to just do one big one. Yeah, it took them like one big one. It's probably not going to work. We should buy some big ones. So. One big one. Yeah, well that'll be alright. Yeah, so one big one. So both of you just got to get these 3 small wires through. Excuse me. And these ones through. These need to be separated from these ones. They can't be bunched up like that. But there's enough room there to have a bit of separation. I'll obviously take off this protective coating here. There'll be enough of a gap there. I'll also be running the 4 neutral safety switch and reverse lights cabling. I was going to pull it back through the firewall, but it's just all too hard. It's not going to work. So I'm just going to run this back into that hole and tidy it up, put a bit of tape on it, but it'll look $1 million, you'd never know it was there. That'll allow this to run all the way to the shifter under the carpet, and then run to those safety switches in the shifter itself, which eliminates the need for the C4 neutral safety switch, giving us start in park and neutral and reverse lights in reverse. Yeah, so basically it's a matter of drilling a couple of holes or one big hole and feeding some wires through. Alright, well it's just about beer time, so I'm probably not going to get that done this afternoon, but yeah, I'll make a bit of start and we'll pick it up tomorrow with a bit of success hopefully. Alright, so I got updates from yesterday. I've got me bung sort of in situ. There's a bit of a gap there. The instructions on the ice tell you not to bunch these together, which I think I mentioned yesterday. So there's enough separation there. That's fine. That'll go through our metal bit that I've got over here set up. Yeah, we'll drill a bit of a hole on the on that clutch piece there, that clutch cover. 28 mils is what I'm looking for. Handy. Alright, well, I'll sort that out. find somewhere to set this up. All right. So this is written on here somewhere where 28 is, or it's not. Oh yeah, it is, yeah. Might just mark that with a pen and I'll be right back. So I want to go to here. Cool. See how this goes. Borrowed the old step drill off wall. Oh, yeah, that's the way I travel. Oh, I think we're just a fracco short there, but that's all right. Ouch! And she's on the warm side. Surprise, surprise. Need to go a fracco more. Alright, let me try and nut this one out and I'll bring this back in. Alright, so because of all that professionalism over here at JC's Carport, we're going to give this a bit of a coat of jam. In the traditional satin black. That'll go really well with the brown. Wow, not really, but anyway. Way too much paint, that'll run everywhere. Spot on. Alright, we'll let that dry and we'll get that plug in, get that wiring in, then we can button up the wiring in the cab there. Alright, so it's next day again and just getting this wiring dialed in, so I've just sort of pulled this through the carpet there. In between the insulation and the actual carpet, so it's not going to rub through. Just going to untape this. I just realised I've forgotten the I forgot my light backlight wire, so I'm going to have to stick that back through again and pull that through. Hopefully it goes through again nice and easily. But yeah, I'll get this unwrapped and get that light wire pulled through. Alright, so I've got the indicator backlight wired. Just going to pull this through here with a bit of light. That's going to go around that pedal, which actually that's a pain in the ass. May need to change that again. Oh, actually, that's what I can. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to bugger. Alright, I'm gonna have to pull that back through, unfortunately. Well, I've only got to untape it, yeah, because I didn't go over that heater cable, so it's going to be under that, so it's not yeah, sweet. I'll take this back out and retape it. Alright, so I'll try that again. Oh, really? Alright, I won't try that again. Alright, so I've got this set up to pull through. This will be my alright, cool. Alright, so this will be my backlight wire, little park wire light, which is just there. So yeah, there-ish. Yeah. Alright, sweet, well, I'll get these plugged in. That's me reverse and yeah, so that's obviously me park and start. The top one's me reverse. Neutral, oh, that must be reverse, isn't it? Yeah, that's reverse. So yeah, the top one's reverse. Bottom one is safety, neutral safety. So start in park and neutral only. Yeah, so that's neutral. Yeah, so that switch is activated. It's reverse, and that's park. Alright, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and get that buttoned up and we can finish this off and put our little tower around it and get that sorted out. Alright, it's got that wired up. That's all good to go. I'll throw this tower back on and we'll be finished. So what the end result is. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to require some modification, which might be a good thing actually. Alright, that's going to require some modification, some trimming. Well, that doesn't go down far enough for to get the screws in. So yeah, I'll have to cut that. I'll give that a bit of a trim up, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so I went ahead and got that finished. I just had to take this on and off several times to get it right. I just hit it with the old flapper disc just to put a curve and stuff in it. She's sitting quite nice now. Giving it a bit of a tidy up, and yeah, she's looking really good. Alright, cool, that sort of completes that job. There's still loads more to do. I've got to sorting all this wiring. I've still got to get these gauges to work because I don't think they're working. That's why I've had to use this setup here. Got my wiring for the ice. That's got to be sorted. Got to find a spot to locate that box. Yeah, that's might be interesting. But yeah, I've had the exhaust turn up. I ordered one of those kit exhausts off eBay. So that's here. So that'll be an upcoming video to get that on. Hooked up to my cross pipe sort of thing, X pipe. Yeah. So yeah, no, thanks for watching. Plenty more videos on the Z8s to come, and yeah, we'll keep on going with it.